right after the finals when nobody cares, so that we have time to hone our skills before people start
I
listening.
think that's a really good idea. Now would have been a great time, though, because there's plenty to talk about with the whole Donald Sterling bullshit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Man.
Although I finally got a chance to sit down and watch some playoff basketball on Sunday, and it was like the two worst games of the entire playoffs so far.
What did you watch?
It was the Clippers. It was the Clippers in Golden State, where Golden State routed them.
Yeah.
And it was oh shoot, what was the game before that?
That would have been the Chicago game where they got Washington and Chicago, where. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I'm a Chicago fan. There was that was basically Boozer losing the whole game in the fourth quarter because he's a dick.
Hey, speaking of being a fan, so I totally went crazy with If This Then That wallpaper rules this week. So now every time there's a new post on Earth Porn, it's my desktop or it's my wallpaper, and then every time a Kentucky game, a Cleveland Browns game, a Cleveland Cavs game, a San Diego Chargers game, or a Cleveland Cavaliers game starts, it changed my wallpaper to a team wallpaper.
That's so cool.
No, that's cool.
I'm like, this is the most kick-ass thing ever. I'm just gonna set up everything I can think of. And so far, it's pretty awesome. The only thing is it doesn't let you differentiate between devices, so whenever it changes the wallpaper, it changes it on my phone and my tablet, so that's kind of a bummer.
Okay, so I have that, and then I have... Sorry, Desmond. Okay. Okay, more wine. Hold on.
Yeah, we should definitely encourage more voicemails. I want to be like the car talk of Android. Except
well, if there's anything in
less
this world
northeastern accenty. If
there's anything in this world that can encourage more voicemails, it's a David Ruddock punny pickup line.
I'm thinking. I'm pontificating on this.
Pontificating. Haha.
Oh!
Hey, can you turn that light off? I look like
Which one? This one?
Wagon.
This one, Mr.
Oh, that's why my video is so dark, because before I had a bright light in the room.
Yeah.
That explains it.
That'll do it.
Unless you're me, and then you look like a
I don't want to.
piece of crap.
I can be in the dark. It's cool.
So I rearranged the programs on my screen so that the Hangout is filling a whole monitor, and now I'm disturbed by it.
Man, that's how I always do mine.
I don't want to see this much of you guys. I'm sorry.
I have the Hangout always full screened on my right monitor.
The Hangout is a third of my screen because I also have an IRC chat app, and I have the dock open, and I have my recording software, and I have my camera software, and I have yeah, that's it. There's lots of stuff.
What happened to my chat? Where did it go?
Need more monitors.
There
I feel like I need another program to fill this space. Maybe like AOL Instant Messenger. Do people still use that?
God, yeah.
You know what you should put in there?
What?
What?
CompuServe.
Oh man, I remember CompuServe. Why does the chat room look so weird? Oh, because it was disconnected.
Ah!
It's talking about. That's weird.
Stupid chat room.
All right, I've got my Android pickup line.
Don't.
I'm not gonna say it.
Beans.
It's not. That's not it.
Jones was telling me something about some news group he belongs to.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he found it on Alta Vista in his Netscape browser.
That's Netscape Navigator.
That laugh was like a whinny of a horse. What was that?
That's not a good thing.
No, but it's a thing.
Cameron,
I'm sorry.
Do you have a horse mask you can wear
I'm very
for the show?
blunt today, so if I'm mean to you, I apologize in
okay.
advance.
That's okay.
I'm a little froggy.
Well,
the curmudgeon of the episode tonight.
I'm fighting off a thingy, so a sickness. So I'm a little grouchy myself. So.
Well, you're just gonna have to get it down with the sickness.
I guess maybe you could say you're a little hoarse.
I get it because of that. Oh, David Ruddock. What'll we do with you, Roy?
I don't know.
Why are you calling him Rory? Like Rory from Doctor Who?
Roy, R-O-Y.
No, Roy. R-O-Y.
I'm calling him
because
Roy.
That's his name.
That is my name.
That's his name.
Oh, you mean your first name or your middle name?
It's my first name.
Okay, so David's your middle name?
It is.
So it's R. David Ruddock?
It is Roy David Ruddock III.
Oh, of course. Of course. Roy David Ruddock. But it's R-O-Y?
Yeah.
Not R-O-R-Y? It's not Rory, it's Rory.
And if it was R-O-R-Y, I'm sure it would be much less like Rory from Doctor Who and more like Rory from Gilmore Girls.
I didn't watch Gilmore Girls, sorry.
He stopped using the name Roy because it's actually of Gaelic origin and it means red-haired. And he's not red-haired. The name David means king.
Couldn't he pronounce it Wah if he was in Canada?
So if he pronounced it Wah, then it would be King Ruddock.
Give me props for my hockey knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
King Ruddock. I'm going to call you King Squared. Or King 2. K2 Ruddock. Yeah. I'm going to...
Roy Ruddock. Do you see the chat room?
Roy to the world.
It's like elementary school all over again.
Roy Ruddork.
Sounds like a porn name.
Droy David Ruddock. Droy. Oh, I can call you Droy. Androy. I'll call you Androy.
Yeah, it's like a cosplay.
Oh, are we supposed to start the show or something? Or
something
like
Uh-oh. Hold on, I don't know what date it is.
Did we forget what we were here?
It is the 1st of May.
Mayday! Mayday!
Mayday, Mayday.
Mayday.
Mayday is payday.
Yeah.
It is?
For some people.
For some people.
It is not for me's paydays.
But tomorrow is...
Watch on.
Tomorrow is
payday. 2 year fits. Oh wait, one of them's not paired though.
@2 Ruddock.
So, shall we get this Antiques Roadshow going?
The road, yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Are you just calling this an Antique show because your name is Roy? And that's
Roy does sound like a person who would be a host on Antiques Roadshow.
Check. Where the?
Oh yeah.
I'm on the wrong one. I'm on the right, and I should be on the left.
Roy is an expert on mid-century American basketry.
Can you speak in there louder, Matthew?
Do you want me to speak louder? Do you really want me to speak louder?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Oh God, someone named himself Left Nut. Give me a break. In the chat room.
They can hear you.
They can hear you, Kim.
Oh, I forgot.
Give me a break. You are such a mom tonight. I love it. Android mom.
I forgot that we were already, on air.
They can hear words that we say.
It's funny, Left Nut.
Oh my God.
Nice.
I haven't even started the show yet, and it's already gone to hell. I guess that's par for the course for this show.
Well,
Captain Oblivious is now known as Right Nut.
I think it's my fault. Every time I show up, it goes to hell.
Ori Orbison. Oh God, I'm just gonna press buttons.
Okay.
Welcome to the Android Police Podcast, your weekly audio source for all things Android. It is Thursday, May 1st, 2014. I'm your host, Matthew Smith.
I'm David Ruddick.
I'm Cameron Summerson.
I'm Pam Hill, AP's official librarian.
And I'm the guy pressing the buttons. My name is Bob Severins. Welcome to the show.
I didn't know
we're starting off behind
titles.
Because the chat room is apparently really disappointed there's no Liam this week.
What?
I could not figure out what both of you were saying at the same time. Something about Liam and something about I didn't know something.
I said the chat room's really upset that there's no Liam this week.
Hey, only one person. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm upset that there's no Liam this week.
I will say Liam is probably our best chat roomer of the actual on-show folk.
Well, if
He's a good chat roomer.
If I didn't,
he gives good chat.
He's textually active.
He gives good chat.
He's textually active.
Very textually.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm textually ambiguous, but I have lots of knobs and buttons to press throughout the show, so you don't want me... I actually tried to be more active in the chat room one time and stop the recording in the middle of the show, so I'm going to try not to do that.
Yeah, we need you to focus, Bob.
The moral of this story is... The moral of this story is we don't want to talk to the chat room.
They don't want to talk to me either.
I'll talk to the chat room. I'm trying to sub for Liam.
You
So you
rate
know.
them
Well,
for their inappropriate names. That's what
you have to talk to the chat room.
Right.
All right, well, let's get this thing started with a little rumor roundup, guys. Okay, so we have some announcements to announce. So we're announcing the announcement of the announcements on this show. So there's a whole lot of meta in there, but we'll start off with Motorola, and apparently they're having a press event on May 13th. So, Cam, what do you think they're going to be announcing on the 13th in London?
So, a couple of possibilities. We heard from EV-Leaks about Moto X Plus 1. Not entirely sure what that is. So it could be a successor to the Moto X, or it could be, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the hell Moto X Plus 1 could be. I don't want to think that, I don't think they would call the successor the X Plus 1 because, oh my god, that's just a joke. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that could be. But we've also heard rumors of the Moto E, which could be, it's said to be a super thin, like mid-range-ish, really affordable device. And the fact that on the press, on the thing that oh my god, the invite that went out to the press, at the very end it says "Made to last, price for all." So it could be something low-end-ish. So it probably, I would bet on it being something, maybe something sort of a Moto G-ish, the Moto E. So maybe it could be the LTE Moto G that we've kind of seen floating around.
Maybe it's the Moto J.
It could be the Moto J.
The Moto Soft G.
Yeah, the Moto Soft G. It could be. I don't know. But we'll find out in like 2 weeks.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Also,
the Moto.
The Moto what?
I think David just got paid. I heard a cha-ching. I heard a cha-ching.
That's the sounder I've set for when I get paid. Actually, no, it's not. It's whatever the default PayPal notification sound is. I don't know if there is one.
Nice.
All right, so not to be left out, LG is also holding an event in the month of May, this one on the 27th, and I think we might have a little bit of a better idea of what they've got up their sleeves, right, David?
You know, I will talk about this right after I shamelessly sidetrack us. Neither of these things are rumors. This show is a sham. These aren't rumors. These are announcements.
That's true. These are
What does this show come to?
at all.
They're in the wrong category.
These are unofficial announcements.
No, the announcements are official, but they prompt us to rumorate.
We're not rounding up
about what
This
they're
is
going to
tenuous at
announce.
best.
No, these are in the wrong section. These should be in the speculation section. And the sounder should sound something like this. It's time to speculate, y'all. Here we go.
Nate Dogg and Warren G are going to speculate.
Nate Dogg gonna speculate.
Oh my god, my face is red. That was funny. I was not expecting to laugh that hard that quickly.
David, you can continue.
It's red for Roy's Rumor Roundup. So LG is also hosting an event next month on May 27th because they're going to announce the G3. So everybody knows that's what it is.
That's this month, by the way.
And then there's also going to be other... That's this month. Yeah, okay. That's in 26 days. So yeah, it's the G3. The G3.
The LG3?
LG3. We got to stop doing that. So yeah, LG will have that event on the 27th. Yeah. We're expecting to see the G3. EV Leaks leaked a picture of the back of it. The buttons are still on the back, so yeah. But that's it's going to be a thing that happens.
Yes. Undoubtedly, it will be a spec whore.
It will. It will.
All right, let's move on to Code Google. All right, so not long ago, we heard some news leak out about an upcoming Android Silver premium phone project that was kind of in the works. And this week, I don't know that we got so much in the way of new news about it, but we definitely have a little bit of additional confirmation that something's definitely in the works. So, Pam, what do we know at this point about Android Silver?
Okay, well, to remind you guys who may not remember from our last post, that Google is... Well, at least the rumor is that Google is going to start a program to sort of class up the Android name, a program called Android Silver. At least that's what we think. I don't know if that's a code name or the real name, but where they would select 5 high-end Android devices, and they would promote the sale of these devices at, Google, of course, but also at retail carriers. But there would be some requirements that they would require that these devices have the latest version of Android with little to no software modification, which I think is important. And then they would help out by not only spending money marketing-wise to promote these devices, but they would also have a system where they would help new customers to migrate their data, and then also they're promoting this never lost phone tracking thing, or they would offer this program, sort of like the iPhone system, the setup, I guess. But the latest details...
It's nothing like that.
Well,
I'm saying that for legal purposes. It's nothing like
right. No. It's just a program to track your phone if it's lost, called Never Lost, which is kind of an interesting name, I guess. But I think that this article focused on a few of the latest details, or the details that we think might be new, is that, number one, Android Silver will replace the Nexus hardware program, which you can imagine lots of commenters were not thrilled with that aspect, although I don't see the big deal. But anyway, and then the second thing is that the Silver phones would have prompt software updates, which I think everybody would be thrilled with, and that Google, of course, as I said before, they would promote these phones with their own marketing money, which is kind of a big deal. And then that it would, I think this is the thing everybody's waiting to hear, is the program will launch in the US, Germany, and Japan as soon as next year. So that's kind of it, I think.
Basically, Google will be your phone pimp.
Exactly.
And the phones are Google's bitches, and the stand is like the corner they're on.
This is an excellent analogy.
I think we should do really all analogies based on basically pimpo relationships.
Okay.
I think that's a really underplayed sort of, underdone sort of thing that should happen a lot more often.
The analogy, of course, yes. Mm-hmm. But do we
of course. Not actual prostitution. I'm sure that is not underdone. The analogy of phones in correlation to prostitution is what's underdone.
Do we like the name Android Silver? Because I don't think it's horrible.
No.
You don't like it?
I think it's a terrible name.
No,
it shouldn't
like
be green. You like it?
No.
I think they should call it Android 1.
Oh God!
Wow.
Please, I think we'll knock you over
God,
that.
how
Silver and premium never go
that's
together.
really-
because
Okay, well,
everywhere,
gold sounds a
ever-
little. To get back to our analogy, sounds pimpish.
It does.
Well, what about Android
the most
Platinum
front.
then?
Yeah.
Oh, I like platinum.
When you think
I
of
do like
high-end stuff, Platinum
we should name it
Platinum is
uranium.
generally the Platinum
Android
is
enriched
always the highest level of whatever.
platinum. I like platinum. I
Cannot
vote
get
for
a
that.
freaking word in it twice.
We could just. Why do they just call them Google Experience phones? I mean,
Ooh.
that sounds
The
better-ish.
experience. We're back to that analogy.
I don't think
God.
Silver's the final name. I just think it's a code name.
Yeah, it's a code name. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is, but maybe
how does-
Silver's the
how does
code
every-
name, and they'll actually end up calling it Android Platinum when it comes out.
We
That
aspire
would be
to
cool.
second place.
They'll take my advice.
What? What did Bob say? I can't hear.
I don't know.
There is
apparently.
so much lag on Hangouts.
I know.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like
He
watching
said
one of
we
those movies.
aspire to second.
Because I see your lips moving, but your voice doesn't match. It's like I'm watching Kung Fu or something.
Well, that's how Bob talks.
No, it's you, Matt. It's that's a Bob talk.
That's how I talk too. We learned it in creepy puppet school. All right, so seriously though, guys, I'm curious to know what you all think about the concept of this replacing the Nexus program, because I think that's kind of the big sticking point that most people listening to this show are probably going to have.
I don't know if it
think
would
there's
replace the Nexus program.
It's going to be part. I mean, the Nexus program is going to become part of it. It's not going to replace it. I mean, Nexus phones are
Exactly.
still going to exist. They're just
Right.
going to exist within the Android Silver. I don't want to call it an ecosystem, but I mean, within this program, that's where we'll find.
I think
Nexus
what's going to
phones.
get replaced are Google Play Edition phones. I think those are going bye-bye. Because
Yeah.
the Android Silver program makes that name totally redundant.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's probably what we'll see go away. Nexus phones could go away. I would imagine eventually that's Google's goal. But I mean, at the same time, Nexus phones are also there as developer reference devices. So they do have that purpose in existing outside of consumers buying them.
Maybe they'll switch it so that you get a random drawing if you want to get a Nexus, or maybe you have to pass a developer test.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is how it originally started, of course. But I mean, non-developers want Nexus phones too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cool thing, personally, about this potential project is the fact that it gives OEMs kind of something to strive for a little bit. I mean, obviously they're out there trying to build these devices that have all these features that nobody else has, et cetera, and one up each other. But to an extent, I think this is also going to give them kind of a goal that they can reach for that will appeal a little bit more to probably our average listener, which is somebody who wants a little bit more of a stock experience, but a really powerful phone as well. And I think just giving that option and giving that as something that, if you build that and you can make that, then Google will chip in X amount of dollars to make sure it's front and center in the storefront, and there's advertising dollars going into it and all this other stuff. So I think it's an easy target. If you're a manufacturer, then you just really want to get on that little kiosk. You want to get on that display.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about some upcoming Google rumors. So we're hearing some news that there might be some enhancements to the general OK Google functionality that we expect to see on our Google Now launchers, but perhaps it might be extending a little bit further than just the launcher pretty soon, right, Kim?
Yes. So it looks like Google is going to take the Google Now OK Google hot word kind of a la Moto X to everywhere. What we're seeing
Sorry,
is...
could you say that again?
It's
You were
going to be...
cutting out on our end.
Okay, yeah. So Google's going to take the OK Google... What?
Continue.
Continue from where?
No, just start over. It cut out on our end. There's obviously a lag or something weird. Go.
list.
Listening. It's going to be listening all the time. If you are looking at an image,
it's lagging bad.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking.
Just pause for a while, and then you can return to talking in a little bit.
Play some music.
So, what's up? Is it still laggy?
I don't know.
I can hear you.
For that second.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was.
This sucks, but
yeah, this is crazy.
All right, let's give it another go.
Can I talk now? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just going to pick up where I left off. If you're looking at an image, you should be able to say, "Okay, Google." It'll bring up a dialog box. You could say, "Share this image" or "Share this photo," and it will share it to Google Plus. Example that we have here on the site. So basically, it's going to be able to activate the hot word detection from anywhere, which is awesome. That's one of the coolest features of the Moto X is being able to, to activate without even touching the phone is badass. Other than that, we also looked at the new navigation bars. So this looks completely different than the way it was working. Than the way it looked before. Instead of having back, home, and recent apps buttons, we're now seeing back, a Google button in the middle, and a recent apps button that looks different on the right side. So the back button still works the same. The recent apps button is what's going to open the Hera menu. So that would be your recent apps from all across Google, basically across all devices. And then the Google button in the middle will effectively launch Google Now or open up Google Search or passive listening, or I'm sorry, not passive listening, but voice actions. And but the weird thing is, like, how do you get home using that? And it looks like it's going to be located under the Apps menu, and then you swipe to the right. So it looks kind of interesting. Of course, we're not entirely sure that this is how it's going to work. Mostly because these are still rumors, and we only get information, bits and pieces. So how it will all work together is going to be the most interesting part.
Right. All right, cool. So Google, of course, Google isn't everywhere just yet, or at least Google Now isn't everywhere. Okay, Google, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, Google isn't everywhere just yet, but for now we do have some pretty cool enhancements that rolled out this week for Google Now. So let's talk about those real quick, starting off with filters for restaurant searches, which started popping up this week. They help you narrow down your results when you search for restaurants by price, rating, cuisine, and hours open. So that kind of makes things a little bit more handy. Obviously, if you're searching at 11 o'clock at night, all the restaurants in the world don't do you a darn bit of good if none of them are open at 11 o'clock at night. So pretty cool stuff there. Also, if you head down to your local mall and open up Google Now, you'll get a handy-dandy list of all the stores that are in that mall. There's even an option on there to view the stores in a map, but it doesn't necessarily work as well as you might hope. Some malls have all the stores listed in the map. If you zoom in really tight, a lot of them don't, so your results may vary. Anyways, we've got a couple of additional things involving settings. So we've got some settings in there that you can do through Google Now. You can turn your Wi-Fi off. Well, sort of. You can say turn your Wi-Fi off, and it will say, here's your Wi-Fi menu, and then you manually turn it off. Same thing goes for GPS, for airplane mode. We've also got some stuff in there to increase, decrease your volume, increase, decrease your brightness settings. So you can now use Google Now voice actions to do all of those things. And of course, the last thing that we have new to Google Now this week is your car park reminder card. So if you happen to be driving and Google Now notices it, and you happen to stop driving and Google Now notices it, it's going to throw a handy-dandy card in Google Now with a reminder of where your car is parked. So no more wandering around aimlessly looking like an idiot in parking lots.
Man.
Unless you want.
You
can still do that if you
I think I always, as soon as I walk out of anywhere, I I just hit the panic button on the key fob for my van, so it just goes crazy. So I know exactly where it is because I never remember where I park. So I'm just like, let me make this thing honk, and I love it because it makes it even easier for me to figure out where it is because I watch for all the people who turn around and start looking. That's how I find my car. Maybe I'll try Google Now next time.
Pretty effective strategy.
It works for me. And I remember this one time when I was like, I don't know, maybe 20. I went to a mall in a big town that I had never been to before, and I was with a friend of mine, and we went in and we were there for a few hours or whatever, and we came back out, and I freaked out because I thought somebody stole my car, but it turns out they had two entrances that looked absolutely identical on one, on two different corners of the building, and we had gone out the wrong doors, and I was like in full-on panic mode because I thought my car had been stolen. But it turned out
I've got a parking story.
I was just a dumbass.
I've got a parking story. The first time I went to CES, it was me and Artem, and I drove there from LA in my car, and we drove from our hotel to the MGM Grand, which has a huge, multi-level parking structure. It's massive. I've never seen a parking structure so big. It is gigantic. So we go to the event. We come back out to the car structure. Neither of us can find the car. After an hour of searching, I still can't find it, and I'm certain it's stolen. 15 minutes later, I finally found it. But it was, I lost my car in a parking lot for an hour.
That was a great parking
I think your story is better than mine.
That's a great parking story. I think everybody should have a parking story as parking good as that parking story.
This one time it was really late at night, and I was in this dark parking garage, and I was perched in the back of someone's car with some piano wire, and they came in.
Bob!
All right, so Google released a couple of new apps, not really updates, but new apps this time around to the Play Store, and they're a little bit more dedicated than the Google Drive app. We've got a Docs app and a Spreadsheet app. So, David, obviously, we've taken functionality that Google Drive already had and split it out into separate apps, but was it worth it?
I mean, the entire purpose of doing this for the moment is just to expose Drive or Docs and Sheets, because I mean, who would think you go to an app called Google Drive, which implies a storage mechanism, to make a spreadsheet? I don't go to Dropbox to start a Word document. It really doesn't make much sense. So Google's parsing those out into their own apps. They look a little different, but they do all the same stuff the editors and Drive app do. Maybe eventually in the future they'll give them a more rich experience. I don't know, but for now they're just basically shortcuts to slightly different looking apps to edit and create and manage your documents and spreadsheets. And there's going to be a slides one too eventually.
What they could have done is they could have released an app that had spreadsheets, docs, and presentations in it, and they could have called it Google Docs. I mean, I'm just spitballing here.
I don't think that makes any sense. Who the hell?
I mean, Google Docs, and then Drive could have just been a Drive. I mean,
Google, Google. But what I want to know is when they release the self-driving car for everyone to use, what are they going to call the app? Google Drive is already taken.
They're going to call it Google Docs.
No, Google Escort. Because I got earlier.
I like it. They're going to call it Google Docs.
Ew.
No, we can't call
it dig
Escort.
The Escort. Damn, son, that's a good one. That was the theme of this week's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a son. I'm a daughter.
Fine, it's the Google debutante.
Google Livery Service. Wait, no, that's not what it is.
Man,
something to do with horses, right?
Yes.
Wait, where are we?
Or we're stealing people's livers.
Yes, that too.
It's you, Matt.
All right, so Google Drive's web counterpart got an added feature this week for presentations. If you happen to have the Chromecast extension loaded on your Chrome browser and you head on over to drive.google.com, you can open up a presentation, and there's now going to be a new option there to present on another device. And what other device might that be? Your Chromecast, of course. So if you click on that little link, you go down there, you can send your presentations to Chromecast and show everyone your glorious, glorious creations. So obviously this is a pretty cool feature for schools, teachers, business presentations, etc. People who are probably looking for any reason to get a $35 solution to handle this rather than the multiple hundreds they would spend otherwise.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
What's your favorite application on your phone? It's got to be Google Play Games, right?
Google Play Games, yes.
Google Play Games was updated to version 1.6 and includes a redesigned slide-out navigation bar and some minor tweaks. This is headline news, Matt.
Headline.
A redesigned nav bar and slide-out tweaks.
Yes, well, if you think that's something, you should hear about what's going on with Google Play Music, because you can now change the names and descriptions of your playlists.
Wow.
Yeah. You couldn't do that.
This is some stellar stuff.
You couldn't do that before, but now you can.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
That is fascinatory in nature.
Yep. Also, you can share your playlists, but only if you've made them public first. So.
Why would you do such things?
Because you're a public
Who makes public
person,
playlists? Why would you make a public playlist?
I don't know why anybody would do anything that involves their stuff being presented to the public. Like, why in the world would we do a live hangout?
I'm never sharing my favorite playlist, intimate instrumentations.
Wow, that joke would have been funny if it would have left your lips.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the hot sheet.
Womp, womp.
We heard it in our heads and we were laughing.
I had a playback error, like Left Nut says.
Yes, playback errors, they're the worst, especially when it's a person talking that's having it. All right, so Samsung has announced the Galaxy K Zoom. Of course, we knew this was coming. We knew what it would be, and it's here now. So, Cam, anything surprising, interesting, or make you want to buy it?
Make me want to buy it? No.
It's not a tablet, Matt. So he's right out of the
No, I mean, it's thinner. Okay, it's thinner than the Galaxy Zoom, and that's all. It is a 24/7.
Oh my God! What if somebody made a tablet that had like a point and shoot on the back of it, though?
Oh my God, that would be the
That'd be great for concerts.
That would be the douchiest possible piece of technology.
The Galaxy Tab K Zoom 10.1.
Oh,
2015 edition.
Okay, listen.
Out in front, you stupid tablet bitch.
No, we need to stop right now because we are going to give Samsung ideas, and they might actually make this shit. And if they don't, there's always Asus.
Right.
They still haven't made the Galaxy S crap box. That's all I know.
They have. They just didn't brand it as such.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe they spelled it with a K and shortened it to just K.
Right. Everything is K now. It's the capture crap box.
K for craps.
Oh, man.
Crapture.
Man.
Yes,
Ham
the
crap
Crapture
begins
box.
with a C.
Hey, not if you're Samsung.
So does camera.
Yeah. Not if you're a
See,
corn fan.
what did I say? Camera starts with K, so.
Not if you're a corn fan. Fine.
So
That's a good point.
Cameron, what you're saying, Cameron, is that you don't want to get your camera on. Cameron. Cameron. No camera on for you, Cameron?
No Galaxy S Camerons.
Oh, damn, why
That was
not?
funny.
Everybody.
He doesn't want to get his camera on. That's what I was saying. I hate all of you. I'm going to hang myself tonight.
All right, so let's move on to more baffling Android products. This one is an HP Slatebook, which, what is that, you might ask? It's a laptop. And why are we talking about on this podcast? Because it runs Android.
Wow.
That's right, man.
I
put this all together for you, and now it's yours, Pam.
I have a question about this product.
Hold on. Let me tell them about the product first, and then you can ask questions.
Okay.
Man, she's like.
I'm sorry, I'm just
like having
inquisitive
like
young crack journalist.
She's like quiet down in front.
I'm not
talking in the library.
Hey, there's all kinds of talking in my library. You don't know what you're talking about. All right, I'm not really sure if the world is ready or really needs a 14-inch Android laptop, but I kind of want it anyways. I know it's kind of weird, but the specs are these. 14-inch full HD touchscreen. Okay, that's cool. 14 inches for an Android? Okay. And then it has all your garden variety ports and stuff. And then the keyboard has some Android keys, and we don't really know what the chip is. We think it might be a Tegra 4 or a Tegra K1. We're not really sure. But it looks downright snazzy with that yellow trim. I really like the look of it. And even though I don't need this additional device, I think it's kind of interesting. So everybody make fun of it now. Go ahead.
I got to say, it does have a lot of snaz. The snaz factor is high.
It wasn't the snazzy look that got you, Pam. It was the 14 inches. Come on, be.
Oh, boy.
Bum, I went there.
So my question about this product is,
I hate my life.
Why?
I don't know. I know. It's very curious.
It's got a physical home key. That's what I'm bugged by.
Chromebook.
I know. It's like, it's very similar.
Yeah.
It has a physical home key?
It has a physical home key.
Oh my God.
No, it does?
No.
I don't recall it. Take a look again.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense, but still, no.
It's on.
Oh, yeah,
No,
it is.
it's
It's right
on the
there
key.
with the recent apps. You're right. You're right. That is bizarre.
Android laptops is no. You can't do that.
Here's the market, okay? We've been waiting for the Nexus 10, the new one, which we don't know if it's ever going to come out. And my son really wants that one to take to school, you know, with a keyboard, yada, yada, because his laptop's too heavy to drag around. Well, I said, why don't we just get you like a Chromebook?
That's bad for it.
I know. I said, why don't we just get you a Chromebook or something like that? He goes, no, I want it to be Android. Well, here you go. We give him this, and
But
he's
why?
satisfied.
Your son is irrational.
No, he's not.
Yeah. No, he totally is.
Chromebooks
Seriously.
don't have any gaming or any sort of application.
Well, he has a laptop for gaming, so. Oh, he wants to play games at school.
Even
I get it.
though, even though one-off Android games and stuff that are compiled for a mobile architecture versus the crap you're going to get on a Chromebook, it's the app ecosystem is why you would want this.
Yeah, and
Well,
I mean,
you're
nobody
right.
wants to play games in the middle of class.
That's
all
what I was
those
just gonna
keyboard
say.
optimized Android apps.
Well, he
Yeah,
can also,
no,
he
Android-
can also do Google Docs.
Android with a
though.
mouse. Android with a
school.
mouse. No. Period. No.
Well,
Android with a
no,
mouse.
no.
It
Well,
sucks.
you don't need the trackpad. That would be
It does.
stupid. But
I'm sorry, but Windows 8 with a mouse sucks.
that's true.
What's the
It doesn't
difference?
Good point.
Because Windows 8 has desktop mode. Android
Yes.
doesn't have that.
This is way
Chrome
more
OS would have
appealing
made
to me
much
than a
more
Chromebook.
sense.
Anyway,
Right?
I would just like to check
I
it out.
actually agree.
I think it's weird, but I would still like to check it out. Maybe because it's weird. I don't know.
I wish it
Well, I
wasn't
mean,
Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I mean,
Forgot. Nobody understands sports.
Nobody
on the show.
cares.
I do. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're the black and yellow ones.
Right.
Yes.
oh my
Yes.
God, yes.
The black and yellow.
I get it. The
All
the
right,
black and yellow ones.
All right, let's talk a little bit about HTC because we talked a little bit last week. Eric was supposed to say something, but he didn't bother to show up for the show that he's not on anymore.
Stupid Eric.
Stupid Eric. But they had a little bit of a win last week in acquiring a at least track record proven marketing guy. But it looks like there might be some trouble in the design area, which is problematic because design is what HTC is good at, right, David?
Yes, Matt, it is a humongous tinfoil catastrophe.
Yes.
Design chief Scott Croyle has left the company. He'll be transitioning out of his position as chief of design slowly. That's what HTC wants to emphasize. He's not leaving. It's a transition.
So
Much like your
Croyle
girlfriend
will
isn't dumping
crawl.
you, you're just taking a break. So Scott Croyle will be leaving the company over a indeterminate period of time. Somebody else is going to take over his job. And then they combined press releases. They synergized with positive news by announcing that some other guy whose name I don't remember because I don't have the article up is taking over some other divisions at HTC, and that's better because it promotes synergy. And fuck that Scott Croyle guy because he's, transitioning or whatever. But Scott Croyle actually came along with the HTC when they bought his design firm, which was actually named One & Co. I don't know where HTC has gotten their phone naming from recently. It couldn't possibly be related to Scott Croyle's design firm. That was a talking point in the negotiations for the buyout. Was they said, okay, if you buy our company, you have to name every device you release from now on. There's actually a bidding competition between One & Co. and Two and Partners. So, man, that sounded way better.
That joke was one and done.
It was. That joke was, in fact, one and done. Anyway, Scott Croyle will be leaving. Jonah Becker will take over his role. And Drew Bamford is going to do some other stuff that should make you excited about things.
Things we'll be excited about.
He's going to start his own company, Bamford.
Humongous transitional catamaran.
That's right. I just want to laugh at Gary Busey again because he's funny in that ad.
He thanked the fish.
I know. It's awesome.
Yeah. We should all thank
you, fish, for being here.
Thank you for your 15-minute-long jam sessions.
Goodbye, and fish. Thanks for all the fish. All right, so there's more HTC news, and it's actually pretty design-related, I guess. Last week we talked about the red HTC One M8 that we saw come out for Verizon, but it also appears that other carriers are jumping on the exclusive color bandwagon. This week it's the Glacial Silver variant, which is available right now from AT&T. There's also a new black and gold Harman Kardon edition HTC One M8 heading to Sprint starting May 2nd, tomorrow if you are watching live. The Harman Kardon edition will also come with a set of Harman Kardon AES headphones and some sound enhancements to an already pretty sound-enhanced phone. So this thing should just be. It'll replace all of your stereos, I think.
It's like Beats, but with a brand that's less cool.
That's right.
Yes.
Calling all Verizon Samsung Galaxy S4 owners. Announcement. Put down your pitchforks and torches. Do not storm the castle. For you shall be receiving Android 4.4.2 finally.
I thought it was because the princess was in another castle.
And there will be much rejoicing in the streets. And there will be merriment and wine. Be to the downloadings.
Merriment and wine.
Woo! Merriment and wine.
Well, there'll be less wine because the Galaxy S4 owners were whining that they weren't getting in on the 4.4.2 KitKat action, yo.
And of course, the Verizon S4 wasn't the only Samsung device to get the KitKat treatment this week. We also saw 4.4.2 roll out to the Verizon Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition, the Sprint Galaxy S3, and the International Galaxy Note 2. So if you have any of those devices, you better start checking for updates. You better do it.
On 428, if you have Sprint's LGG Flex, you would have maybe been starting to have received the KitKat update as well. So Sprint's LGG Flex 428 started rolling out the latest update.
Word.
To your mother.
To your mother.
All right, let's do some product reviews.
It's time for product reviews.
With David. Ruddock.
Roy.
Who?
It's Roy, boys. Product reviews. This week's product review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. Roy boy, give us your review.
That is my name. So the Galaxy S5, I have one right here. You can see the camera trying to adjust because its screen is ridiculously bright. Redonkulously.
Oh my god,
even.
wow.
Yeah, I really love this phone, actually. Despite what some of the I'm trying to think of an acronym for HTC that involves using haters as the first word, but I'm not coming up with anything. Anyways, HTC fans, you're going to hate on this phone regardless of what happens. So are Nexus fanboys and everybody else in between. But the Galaxy S5, I think, is the best phone, Android phone you can currently buy. Maybe the best phone overall you can currently buy. It's really, really great. And there's a few reasons for that. One, to lay it out quickly, the display is awesome. Best phone screen ever, period. There's just no competition. Amazing viewing angles. The maximum brightness when you're in auto brightness in direct sunlight is crazy good. I've never seen a phone perform this well in broad daylight. You can actually read things in the sun. It's just outstanding.
Brighter than the sun.
It is. It actually is 700 nits as the maximum brightness in automatic brightness mode, which is brighter than the iPhone, which is actually pretty impressive. So it really is very bright. And when you turn on that adapt display mode, which is actually enabled by default, I think, it ups the contrast ratio based on the content you're viewing. So it looks even brighter than it actually is. It's just a really, really great screen. And not to mention, you can actually, if you go into manual brightness and you turn it all the way down, it is incredibly dim. So if you're in a pitch black room, like you're sleeping next to your spouse or whatever, and you want to read something on your phone,
your frisky midnight moves.
Yes, exactly. If you're doing some frisky midnight moves, or your frisky midnight moves have been turned down, and instead you go to your phone, the minimum brightness level is lower than any phone on the market by far. It is incredibly dim. So it really is. There's almost no ambient light let off by it. It's pretty incredible. So that's really nice. The auto brightness actually works now, unlike the Galaxy S4. Although I found the Note 3 auto brightness worked pretty well, but the S5, the auto brightness works just fine too. Yes, it is a Super AMOLED Full HD display. It uses a new subpixel arrangement that apparently helps with those contrast ratios and the brightness. So the next reason is battery life. The battery life on the Galaxy S5 is just outstanding. I did have 1 or 2 nights where it drained a bunch of battery overnight for no apparent reason, but that was pretty rare. I've had it for about 3 weeks now, and otherwise the battery's been smooth sailing. I don't use my phone a ton compared to probably the average Android police reader, but the battery life on the S5 for me has been amazing. I get 2 days out of it easily. Just no problem. I can charge on Friday night, and I don't need charge again until Sunday evening. It really just is outstanding that way. The standby battery life is really good. The other thing about it is I had a thing and I forgot. The camera. So the camera sucks in bad lighting. So if you're taking a picture at night, the S5's camera is awful. Like, it's worse than the Galaxy S4's. I don't even understand how that's a thing, but it is. And I'm not sure why that is, and I hope Samsung addresses it in the software update, because right now it's shitty. So if you're taking night photos, you use the flash. They'll come out much better. But in daylight, and even in moderate light, the photos are just outstanding. They're really, really good. The quality is second to none on any Android smartphone I've used. It really is just a great camera. The level of detail, the amount of croppability in the photos, it really is just great. And the HDR mode takes amazing shots. Like, I love the HDR mode on this phone. You can see the HDR mode in real time, too. Once you switch it on, the preview is in real time because the image processor is so powerful that it's able to do that. It's pretty impressive. It can do HDR video, too. Those are the 3 main reasons I really like it. The build quality is pretty typical Samsung. The design of the phone isn't going to turn any heads. The bezels are bigger than the S4, which kind of makes it feel like a step backward in that regard. But overall, it's so much faster than the S4 was, and it's basically as fast as the HTC One M8 that, I mean, it's just it's an obvious buy from me. I feel like this really is just a great phone.
That is the most bizarre product review I've ever heard. I mean, everything you said pretty much was positive. It was weird.
I could say the bad things too.
I wasn't sure who you were for a few minutes there. Your lower third says curmudgeon. That was not curmudgeon-y. I don't know. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Okay, so the plastic is really shitty. It creaks and it moans just like every other Samsung phone. It's the back is like ugly. I don't like the way it looks at all. It's a very boring looking device. The night performance of the camera is almost inexcusably bad. compared to almost every other phone out there. The heart rate sensor is like, what the fuck? Why did Samsung even put that on a phone? That doesn't make sense. The fingerprint scanner is a pain in the ass to use. It's way too difficult. They didn't do a good job of it at all. It's just a blatant way to try to copy Touch ID, which is way better anyways. TouchWiz looks better, but also it still feels totally unnecessary. I don't see any reason for it to exist. The settings menu has 61 icons in it, which is too many, and Samsung needs to really work on cutting out the bloat because there's so much. They also only sell a 16GB version in the United States, which is pretty ridiculous, since you only get about 10 GB of that storage to yourself, and there is no 32GB version as yet in the United States. The only 32GB version is available in Korea for the time being, so even the rest of the world doesn't really have a 32GB S5, which is stupid. So there's all that.
There's David we know and love.
Yes, I'm starting to believe that you are David.
Does it have an SD card slot?
It does.
Does it work?
Yes.
Like how it's supposed to work?
Oh, I don't know. I put an SD card in there and it mounted it. I don't actually care.
Yeah, I don't actually care personally either, but I'm just wondering if it's the same KitKat stuff that people have been complaining about since KitKat came to like the Note 3 and S4.
Just so we're clear here, what are people complaining about? Because I know a lot of KitKat devices don't even have slots for SD cards. So I mean, what's the complaint? What's the problem? Anyone?
The problem is that they don't. I don't know. I mean, I haven't used an SD card in an Android device in like 3 years, so it's something about it doesn't work. Only certain apps are allowed to access it, or I don't know exactly what it is. I just know that it's basically not as open as it used to be.
Gotcha.
So, David, can you maybe tell us about the camera between? I mean, you mentioned it in your review, but between the Nexus 5, because some people might be thinking about those two phones.
Oh, this is way better than the Nexus 5's camera. It's not even a competition. Nexus 5 camera sucks.
Really?
Nexus 5's camera is almost worse than the Ultra Pixel camera, which is pretty meh. The Nexus 5's camera probably is better at nighttime, though, because, like, seriously, Samsung screwed up so bad. I'm not sure what happened there. So there is that.
So if you really want a good camera, then that sucks. But at least you said TouchWiz isn't as bad on this phone.
No, it's not.
Hey, if you want a phone with a great camera, I hear Samsung just announced the K Zoom.
Yeah, I told you what my friend does with her K Zoom camera, right?
Wait, her Zoom camera, the K Zoom.
The K. It's that phone, but it's the other version, the earlier version. Remember, I told you she stores it in her.
Yeah, the Galaxy S4 Zoom.
Whatever, the one with the big lens on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you want a camera with a good phone, buy a cheap phone and then buy a point and shoot and put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't.
Tape them together with duct tape. Oh, don't do that. That's actually a really bad idea.
Well, I'm looking at the Sony one, the new Z2, whatever it's called.
I don't know how the camera is on that. I mean, it uses really advanced, thingies and stuff, so it's supposed to be really good. But the Z1's camera had all kinds of weird software issues and overprocessed photos, and apparently they weren't that good, and I don't know.
Well, in the next step, I think, to further solidify yourself as being the David that we recall being on the show for every episode up until now, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Gear Fit? Because I know you've had that for a while and you've been running around with it.
So there's the Gear Fit on my wrist right there, with my Fitbit Flex next to it. The Gear Fit as a smartwatch is not markedly better than the original Gear. In fact, it's basically the same. Despite actually literally switching operating systems, Samsung has changed as little as possible about the actual software of the Gear devices, which is so puzzling to me, because the software was never that good to begin with. So the basic problems with the Gear Fit as a smartwatch have nothing to do with the fact that it's like a horizontal display and you put it in vertical mode and things get squished. That's actually not a big deal, surprisingly. Reading in vertical mode is a pain in the ass, so reading in horizontal mode is a pain in the ass. So putting it in vertical mode should be like the first thing you do if you get it. But the thing is, the way Samsung envisions how a smartwatch works just doesn't seem very good to me. Notifications, the way they're handled, you get a notification, the watch vibrates, it doesn't have a speaker or anything, and it tells you notification is there, but if you don't tap on it right then, it goes away. And so there's no passive way the watch tells you have a notification once it's gone. So you have to go to the Notifications app, which does have a little icon in front of it saying, oh, you've got a notification. But you still have to turn on the watch and then scroll to the next home screen to get the Notifications app to see your notifications, which to me seems dumb. It just doesn't really... It kind of defeats the purpose of being a quick and convenient way to see what you want to see. And then the third-party app integration still doesn't really work. So if you open a Gmail notification, you can see the body of the message and who sent it and whatever. But if you click Open on Device, it just opens the Gmail app on your phone. It doesn't even go to the right account. So it just opens the Gmail app. Which, that might be Google's fault, it might be Android's fault, it might be Samsung's fault, it might be everybody's fault. But the fact that it works that way is super annoying, and I don't like it. And it makes me not want to use it. What else? So you think of smartwatch, like if you're listening to music on your phone, smartwatch is an easy way to control pause, play, volume, or whatever. There's no passive playback controls on the Gear Fit. If you're playing music on your phone, you have to get on the Gear Fit, you have to scroll to the right home screen, hit the shortcut for the playback control app, and then control the music or video you want to control. It should just work, and the fact that Samsung doesn't make it passive really annoys me. As a fitness tracker, I found the pedometer was not accurate at all. Like, I counted 500 steps, it recorded like 690 or something. My Fitbit Flex recorded like 530 or 40 compared to that, so it's not accurate. The pedometer is not passive. You have to turn the pedometer on and then turn it off if you want to use it, because apparently it drains the battery too quickly, which is just so stupid. The heart rate monitor I found was less than totally reliable. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it would just flat out refuse to. Like, I could try like 3 times and say, oh, nope, it's dirty, or you need to reposition on your wrist. And so that was annoying. And then sometimes it would just work a whole day and wouldn't have any problems. So I'm not sure what the deal was there. I'm trying to think of other things I didn't like about it. Like I said, it's just not a very good fitness tracker because you're locked into a Samsung phone and Samsung's S Health app, which is only available on Samsung phones. There's not a tablet app. There's no web interface, which it kind of defeats the purpose of a fitness tracker. Why would you want to be locked in to a Samsung phone in order to have a fitness tracker? That seems stupid. It's very Apple-y that way. The things I did like about it, it vibrates when you have an incoming call. You can reject the call or send a quick text reply. It vibrates when you get a notification in general, which is kind of nice. You can set up the quick replies for text messages too, and for emails, but only if they're through the Samsung Mail app, Samsung Messaging app, or if it's the phone, obviously it's going through the built-in dialer on your Samsung phone. But otherwise, aside from looking really pretty, which it does, I love the screen on it. If it will turn on, I think it looks really awesome because it doesn't try to look like a watch. It tries to look like, I don't know, like a bracelet or something. I think it looks way cooler than any other smartwatch currently on the market.
How's the screen do in direct sunlight?
If you turn it to outdoor mode, it's usable, but it only stays in outdoor mode for 5 minutes, and then it reverts back to level 5 brightness. So there's no automatic brightness, which is definitely a drawback. Smartwatches should only have automatic brightness.
It's okay, Matt. None of us Android geeks go outside for more than 5 minutes at a time.
So, yeah, that's kind of a... I don't know why they didn't put an ambient light sensor in these, because if there's one thing where I would want the brightness to automatically adjust, it's a smartwatch. I can handle manually controlling my phone's brightness if need be, but a smartwatch? Come on. At least that, or like a physical button on it that automatically switches it to brightest while I hold it down. Maybe that would be an option too. But
or if they had some type of a gesture, like you move your hand in a circle and then kick it back a couple of times, and then it goes into bright mode. That would be kind
of
cool.
And then pop it, lock it, polka dot it, countrify, then hip hop it.
Exactly. But yeah, $200, I think it's a bad investment. I just don't think it's there yet. I think with the Android Wear on the horizon, everybody's looking to that, and Samsung really just kind of, I think they got bad luck, and then they just didn't make a really good product, so it makes it look worse than it is to an extent. The Gear Fit isn't terrible; it just isn't very good. There's nothing about it that I feel like that makes me want to wear it. And Android Wear just looks more promising right now. We'll see what the reality is, but I would definitely give the Gear Fit a no buy. I think it's a pretty regrettable product.
All right, sounds good. Well, we got some voicemails this week, guys. Let's go to that.
The number you're trying to reach. The number you're trying to reach. The number you're trying to reach. Enough already. Somebody answer the phone.
That sounder was sent in to us from Piper the DJ, who's become a regular installment on the Android Police. Installment's not the right word. He's more of a fixture. He's kind of like a towel rack. One of my favorite fixtures. We've got some voice messages this week, starting off with our good old friend Sammy.
Hi, AP. This is Sammy. I was just calling with the question, what's your favorite pickup line? Bonus points if it's Android related, and double bonus points if David makes a pun. Have a good day.
All right, guys, what's your favorite pickup line? Bonus points if it's Android related, double bonus points if David makes a pun. So anybody want to start?
Is anybody keeping score?
I'm going to start because I don't want somebody to steal mine because it's really, really easy.
All right, go ahead, David.
Hey, baby, is that an HTC One M8? Because I've got a sixth sense about you.
Nice.
Wow.
It might work.
It might.
She probably
if she's not human, it would definitely work if she's not.
It might work. Who might that work on?
Pam.
Only an Android user.
All right, who's next?
The only pickup line I've used like ever is like hi. And it hasn't worked very well, except it works with my wife, so.
So you're married, so you're.
Yeah, it worked with my wife, so she's a keeper.
That was a safe answer, Matt.
It was a safe answer.
I don't think I have one.
You don't have one? Really?
I don't think so.
Any pickup lines from you, Pam?
I didn't pick guys up. They picked me up, I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
What was your favorite one that was ever used on you then?
Which one worked? Come on, Pam.
I don't remember. I've been married too long to remember, frankly.
All right, I got one. Hey, baby. You know I'm just like an Asus Transformer Prime? I come with a free dongle.
Outstanding.
I suspect that would bat 1,000.
I think Bob wins this round.
David's was good. David's was good.
It was.
But,
it was good.
all right,
They were both good.
you used the word dongle, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you know what? It wouldn't work. That would get like 0 points for effectiveness, but maybe a couple points for creativity.
Hey, if she laughed though, that would be good, right?
Yes. But usually people laugh at me just by default. The next message gets bonus points for creativity. This is from our friend Brian, who's in the chat room.
Hey guys, this is Brian, aka Brian from the podcast Irk Chat. This is my first time calling Jen. Anyways, I was just wondering, given the recent news about Jujel possibly canceling the Nexus Pro Jam and gelling instead with Android Silver, what kind of impact do you guys think it will have on guys and gals who aren't on a carrier but instead are prepaid? Will these phones just be sold by carriers, or will we still be able to buy them on Jujel Play? And also, do you anticipate these phones still being in the sub to $400 range? Well, thanks for taking the time to listen to my call, and keep up the great work on the podcast.
Now, I have to admit, the first time I listened to that, I thought that Brian was drunk. And the second time I listened to it, I knew that Brian was brilliant. Thank you, Brian.
That was awesome. If you could keep that up for an entire hour, you could certainly be a guest host.
He could be a guest host.
So my question is,
I was just thinking that.
How many times? How did you have to practice that to get it right, or did you just like call in and pop it off just like in one go? This is important. I need to know.
We have to know. Once you get past the delay in the chat room, we'll let Brian answer. And maybe we should get Brian as a guest host.
A guest host, yes. I'm all for it. That was great.
It was great.
That was really good. That was really good. So maybe we should actually answer the question too.
In all seriousness, the sub $300 or sub $400 price point is actually the biggest thing that makes me nervous about the potential for this replacing the Nexus program. I loved my Nexus 5 before I lovingly watched it, but you know, it's such a low barrier of entry that I don't know, if that goes away, I think it's going to lose all of the head of steam that it's gotten up to this point.
Huge heads of steam.
Yes, huge.
It makes me think of Big Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen that.
Were there big heads of steam?
I don't know. There were exploding heads, and there was probably some steam involved. And Kurt Russell. You gotta love Kurt Russell.
I don't have to. I choose
yes,
not to.
You choose
do,
not
Dolby.
to?
You have to love him. You must.
That's all he really
him.
wants anyway. He just wants you to love him.
I feel like it'd be very un-Google to not offer Android Silver phones as unlocked devices. I don't think Google.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think
definitely.
Google would do that.
No,
No,
they
but
wouldn't.
what I'm kind of the way I see it is that places like Best Buy and whatnot will actually sell them unlocked. I kind of see that possibly being a thing that happens instead of just buying them on Google Play or buying them from a carrier.
Yeah, because didn't you say, Matt, earlier that the goal is for them to stop having to sell them because the retailers are selling such high-quality stock devices that Google would no longer have to do it?
Well, I don't know if
what
that's
you're
the goal.
thinking?
I think that's just kind of what, you know, some people have speculated. I don't know. You know, I don't think we obviously we don't really know anything about it other than just the little bits that have leaked out. But I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I always want them to be able to sell devices that you can buy directly from them. But
And finally, our favorite towel rack. I mean, our fixture. The fixture, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who calls us every week because he loves us and stuff. Piper the DJ.
Hello, AP. Long-time listener. You know what? Screw it. Like, you really care how many times I've been calling in. Just a quick for your information heads-up FYI, my wind tunnel experiments are over, and they were completed successfully. I apologize for the problems last week. My question from last week is, with Project Aura being on everybody's mind, what is the most important module that you...
Oh, and apparently my buffering stopped or something. What's the most important module?
What is the most important module
okay, yes.
that you would want?
Sweet Jesus, spit it out, Piper. God. I feel bad doing this to this poor gentleman. I already called him a towel rack. Let me try that again. I can cut all this out in post. I'm having the buffering problems tonight. Come on. Stupid. Great. I hate you. You make me look stupid.
oh,
I hate you. I wish you were dead.
look at Cam.
Cameron is now a shark. You have to come up with a funny voice, Cameron.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, who's this?
Terrible. It's terrible.
That's not what I was imagining when I see the shark teeth. I was thinking
What a
more.
black shark voice?
Okay. Even did your smile. That's funny.
Okay.
Here's me, man.
You need a Zool effect.
It is totally not. Oh wait, maybe.
Hello, AP. Long-time listener. You know what? Screw it. Like you really care how many times I've been calling in. Just a quick for your information heads up FYI. My wind tunnel experiments are over, and they were completed successfully. I apologize for the problems last week. My question from last week is, with Project Aura being on everybody's mind, what is the most important module that you would want for your Project Aura device, in addition to a kick-ass battery? Baffling transcription applications the world over. I'm Piper the DJ, giving you more uplinks and downlinks per week. Good night.
Thanks, Piper the DJ. So besides an awesome kick-ass battery in your Project Aura device, were you to have one, what's the most important module?
That would be the dongle module.
The dongle?
Gotta have a module for my dongle.
You know, it's going to sound funny, but I actually think a very strong vibrating module would be important to me, because I cannot feel my device go off in my pants. I think I have a syndrome where I have feelinglessness in my leg area.
I frequently feel my phone vibrate in my pocket when it didn't, and I rarely feel it when it did.
I am with
you. It's like ghost limb syndrome.
The ghost vibrations I have never figured out. But yeah, I get that way more often than. So I say a strong vibrator. I mean vibration.
You know, let's just ditch the vibrations entirely and go straight to a low-grade taser.
Taser. I'm thinking this
that would be
cool.
Good. People would start dancing around with their phones.
Maybe mace dispenser. Taser / mace dispenser? Pepper spray? No?
Only if it's
I want to be pepper sprayed every time I get a text message.
Me too. I love peppers.
I honestly can't think of anything that I would be like, oh God, I just have to have this in a Project Aura device. I don't know. I mean, I just want the standard shit, you know?
Well, I mean, honestly, if it's me, I'm going to go with, besides the obvious, which is like, processor and RAM and battery, a large storage module, so like 64 gigabytes, just because. I think that's the one part of my phone I would like to expand. As much as I hate on SD cards, it's always nice to have the extra storage if you need it. I don't store a ton of stuff on my phone, but with smartphone cameras getting to be, higher megapixel counts, the Galaxy S5 takes pictures of between like 6 and 9 megabytes a piece. So that'll eat up your storage real quick. So I think internal storage is a biggie. I think a lot of people probably agree with that too.
I think for me it has to be, the screen has to be three-dimensional, and it needs to have a heartbeat monitor on it.
Three-dimensional?
Explain. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I was actually just trying to think of the two things I've seen on phones that are most useless to me, so I actually don't want to do those.
Right.
No, you know what I want, and I am totally not your average consumer, but I would like some sort of lens mounting system that wouldn't be a permanent fixture on the device, but if you're going out and you're at a wedding or you're at a kid's play and you've got the optical zoom and stuff that you would have on a camcorder, because right now the image processing that's available in video processing that's available in these phones is powerful enough to do anything you want, but with the fixed
size of the
fixed
sensor
zoom, I would love to have something that I could just throw on there and get some real high quality video with.
Yeah, I mean,
today I learned Bob wants the Galaxy K zoom.
Hey, you know what? If money were no object, I might buy a Galaxy K zoom.
What about the one that fits on the camera that it's a module? The Sony something. Yeah. What about that, Bob? Would that your issues?
Yeah. The QX100 or
I would
whatever.
want something. Yeah. I would want something that ties directly into the image sensor and doesn't actually have have a delay because I'd want to be monitoring things in real time. And although you can stream live using the Sony device, there is a delay, and the bit rate is really low quality. So using your phone as a display, as any sort of monitor or anything, would be pretty tough.
You just need a camcorder.
Well,
they still make those,
I don't want a camcorder because I've got a phone that is powerful enough to do this.
Gotcha.
So if I have something I can have in my pocket and just throw on there, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it needs a breathalyzer module so that we can just have a riotous podcast like we did the last time there was a breathalyzer.
You know, the one thing about that I would say is that from a cost effectiveness standpoint, I don't think you would ever actually get your money's worth out of something like that. Because the sensor on a smartphone camera is so small to start with that your choice of lenses would be extremely limited, and the overall image quality still wouldn't be very good.
Well, I suppose you could have a sensor integrated with lenses, and I mean, it's all about.
You mean like
how
what
much
Sony
space
does
you
with the
want.
attachable thing? I mean, that's
Well, we're
kind of with them on that. They're basically the same thing but different.
Yeah, but you're thinking about size, the size that our sensors are in cameras now are based on trying to fit a bunch of stuff in there. If I'm able to take out a module or add an add-on module and make my device bigger to do that, I'm okay with that. I mean, even if it extends off the edge, if it snaps in like a Lego brick but extends off the edge, I'm okay with that.
I was gonna say, even if it was just a hot swappable block on the phone.
It would just have to be something that would tie into the core processing capabilities of the phone. But the sensor itself, I mean, it could have its own processing on it too. I don't know. This is a pie in the sky. Okay, leave me alone. I didn't think much. I don't do that regularly. I don't think. Don't make me think.
Good
I
question.
can honestly say that the screen module would probably be the most important thing to me because honestly, I think like David just completely sold me on the S5 just talking about the screen. I really, really love a nice, bright, crisp screen on a phone, and that's actually the main reason why I can't wait to get rid of this LG Flex because of the screen.
Yeah, the screen's not really good.
Yeah, would you say that it only comes in 16 gigabyte? No.
Yes,
Yeah.
it only comes in 16 gigabytes. You have
That's
an 8 storage
ridiculous.
capacity you like as long as it's 16 gigabytes.
I can't understand that at all.
Yeah, well, it's because Samsung, it's basically because the carriers have decided that when they offer 32 gigabyte variants, nobody buys them and they end up having to discount them. So I feel like, Samsung is charging too much to basically get that 32 gigabyte version, and the carriers want too much profit margin out of it. I feel like if they offered a 32 gigabyte for $50 more instead of $100, they'd have a lot more success. But they seem intent on saddling this phone with 16 gigabytes, and then for premium devices like the Note, then you can have your 32 gigabytes as standard. But it really doesn't make sense. Being stuck with this little storage is definitely limiting.
Did the S4 come in? It came in both varieties then?
It came in 32 gigabytes on Verizon and I think AT&T, but not the other carriers.
It's just not
16 gigabytes just needs to die as the standard minimum amount anyway.
HTC has dropped it, and
Yeah.
I think LG dropped it. Yeah, LG didn't have any 16 gigabyte G2s in the US, so.
Thanks for the questions. Keep those voicemails coming in. It sounds like we're getting into a little bit of a roll. So if you'd like to hear yourself on the Android Police podcast, your phone call answered by our panel of experts and jackasses like myself, leave a message.
All right, so we got some contests going on this week, 2 to be exact. So if you want to head on over to AndroidPolice.com, you can get yourself entered to win one of 5 devices: a Galaxy S5, an LG G2, an HTC One M8, a Nexus 5, and Galaxy Note 3 up for grabs from Android Police, Power Amp, and Negri Electronics. So make sure you get yourself entered to win that. Also, a little bit more on the quirky side, we've got several, and meaning 6 in this particular case, Mega Android collectibles from Andrew Bell. They're up for grabs. So those are pretty cool little Android figurines, except bigger, and you can put stuff in them. So who wouldn't want that? Anyways, head on over to androidpolice.com/contest. Get yourself entered to win.
You can put your drugs inside of them.
You totally can. I was going to put that in the post, but I didn't.
You can put what?
Your drudge.
Oh.
You could put Drudge in there.
Drudge. You could put Matt Drudge in there.
Can you put dinosaur embryos that you stole from islands?
From Isla Nublar?
Yes. Can you put
Yes, with the Mega Android Barbasol edition, you can.
Mega, I like that. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show. As always, send your feedback to podcast@androidpolice.com. You can also send dinosaur embryos to us in a Barbasol can, and we will like that. That would be fun. Dodson. We have Dodson here. Nobody cares.
Dodson!
I'm going to run you over when I come back out.
I need one. I need a Velociraptor.
So my
I need a Velociraptor too.
Man, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I changed my glasses over and over throughout the podcast. I got 2 new pairs of glasses today, and I keep looking at my own webcam trying to figure out which one I like better.
I did notice that.
Show us, and we'll help you decide.
I am now accepting opinions. Okay, so this is pair number 1.
All right.
We would call this
pair number 1.
Number 1. And here, I like the side. That's my favorite part of this.
It is. It's edgy.
I like it.
It also allows for good airflow. So
this is pair number 2.
You can keep your eyes dried out.
Obviously, not as edgy.
But those are more distinguished.
See, they're frameless on the bottom, which is interesting for me. I've never owned any frame glasses before.
Mine are that way. Mine are frameless on the bottom.
So
see, pair number 2 to me says you drive something German, but not something too nice. Something nice.
I drive a fucking minivan. Pair number 1.
German.
Oh yeah, you do have a bunch of kids.
Volkswagen.
I will say, I think you look angrier in number 2 than in number 1.
You do look a little angrier in number 2.
I didn't agree. I don't think so. I actually was going to say that you look a little bit softer because the horizontal line is absent, so your facial features are more natural.
I just want to know who does number 2.
Yeah, I'm with number 2. I say number 2.
I say number 2 as well. I prefer number 2.
Wow. Yeah, my wife likes number 2 better also. So
your wife has great taste.
So back to number 1. There's number 1, just for another appearance for number 1, and then number 2 one more time. Bam.
Yeah, it seems like number 1 to me says more that you had like a Monster Energy drink in your lifetime, and number 2 says maybe not.
Wow, how many of us have glasses here? I think we're all wearing glasses except Bob. That's weird, right?
I have 2010 fighter pilot vision, baby. I don't need no.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Bam. So I think that was like absolutely unanimous that everyone said number 2. So the frameless it is. All right.
I didn't say number 2, but that's because I didn't actually pick one.
Oh, okay. Well, your vote goes 4.
I want to see number 1
No,
again.
there wasn't a 4. There was only 1 and 2.
There's more delineation. There's more. There's more head separation.
Yeah, number 2 gives you more shape.
There you go.
There you go, Pam. There's number 1 again.
Okay, so see, I think those are for like going out at night or something, and then the other ones are like
maybe they are.
day use.
Yeah,
you know?
See, what I usually do whenever I buy new glasses, I always get 2 pairs at one time, and I pick one to wear as my main pair, and then I have the other ones as a backup in case I break the main pair.
That's pretty smart.
That's and I've been wearing like my second pair of the other ones for
By the way,
like the last set
I
of glasses
called you
I bought for the
baby,
past,
Pam. I usually am not that like sexist, so I'm channeling some sort of weirdness tonight.
I didn't hear you say it, so you're cool. And secondly,
Thanks,
I don't
Cookie.
offend easily, so.
Well,
man, that's good. There's no way she could even manage to be. There's no way she could even manage to be in the AP chat if she got offended easly. Like there's just no possible
Very
way.
true. Very true.
Just as long as you don't name yourself Left Nut, then you'll be fine.
I'm gonna call myself Left Boob.
Oh my goodness.
My new name shall be Scrody.
Oh my god.
I'm going to end this hangout before we get banned for life.
Yeah, I got stuff to go do. I got shit to do tonight.
I got
Where
shit.
you're going out
Well,
tonight,
it's good
glasses,
that we all
then?
prefer
Like,
number
I better change. I will take off my distinguished glasses and put on my I'm going out tonight glasses.
next time, make sure you get some
Yeah.
classic MC Hammer glasses. I think that's important.
Man. Like the
Everyone
ones that
should
I've
have
been wearing.
classic MC
I'm gonna go back to my other ones. I haven't been wearing my glasses on the podcast for weeks, but these were my old ones, and I hate them. Like I hate these so
But
much.
you didn't always
I love
hate
my
them, right?
thick rimmed glasses.
No, I don't like these. I feel like I'm wearing goggles when I wear these because they're like so thick through here. It's just like I feel like I should go like put on one of those skull caps and ride an old school motorcycle. I don't know. I just don't like them. Like these are so much better.
That actually sounds like a good idea. You should put on a skull cap and go ride an old school motorcycle.
I wish I had an old school motorcycle.
I wish
and a
I had an
skull
old
cap.
school motorcycle too, but I'd probably die.
Yeah,
I wish I had friends. Buzzkill.
Yeah. My angry frames. I feel like my angry frames are. These are my angry frames. When I don't wear glasses, that's my angry face. Like
because you can't see, so you're squinting.
it's like yeah. Now, I don't have to wear my glasses all the time. I mostly just wear them. If I'm not at the computer, I don't wear them. So I wear them for only like 18 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Right? So when you're sleeping, you don't wear them.
Yeah, that's basically. Or if I go somewhere, I don't normally wear them. I just take them with me in case I need to read words.
Read words. I have one nearsighted and one farsighted, so like I can see without my glasses. I just use.
So you can't put your glasses on the wrong eyes.
Well, no, because I have to go
Wait,
upside
that's
down.
contacts.
I only wear one contact.
Wow.
That's
one
interesting.
contact.
Yeah.
Don't you feel uneven? I mean, don't you like tilt
Like
your
a
head slightly when you
cyborg.
walk around with one contact on?
3, 2, 1, contact.
Man, one day
I have to wear my
think
glasses.
sometime-
I'm fucking blind.
I just, I can't do contacts either. I
Here's
think like
all
a year and a half. I think a year ago or a year and a half ago, something like that. I tried contacts and I was just like, oh my god, this is one of those things I just can't do. No.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I hate Jodie Foster movies.
I don't know why that was so funny, but it was.
No, that was good. That was most excellent. That was like the best. That was good shit from Bob.
I actually wore contacts for about 8 years. Actually, no, it was longer than that. It was about 12 years. And I think the fact that I didn't take them out for all 12 of those years is why I can't wear them anymore.
Oh my god.
You wore the same your eyeball when you tried to take them out?
Yes, and then when my vision changed, I had to get corrective lenses for my corrective lenses.
Ouch.
Wow.
No, actually, obviously that's not true. Well, maybe it wasn't obvious. I
Took
don't know.
them out 2 or 3 times. Come
But
on.
seriously, I would wear them for like 3-4 months at a time without taking them out, even at night to go to sleep, and it ruined my eyeballs. And I will never wear contacts again.
Yeah, my wife does that. You should
Oh, we
tell
have,
her that story.
one more suggestion from the chat room. Brian wants to hear the transcript of his from his message.
Oh,
yeah.
God. The transcript, yes.
All right, here we go. The dramatic reading. Hey, John. This is Brian and Katie Brian from the podcast Burke Chat. This is my first time calling again.
This isn't my first time calling again.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep straight. Oh, yeah. All right, this is my first time calling again. Anyways, I was just wondering. Jim, in the recent news about Judicial possibly canceling the Nexus Pro, enjoying instead with Sanford Silver. What kind of impact do you guys think it'll have on Jordan? Gels to our exterior, but instead of prepaid. Well, I mean, these phones desk be sold by carriers, or will we still be able to buy lunch usual? Playing. And also, do you anticipate these phones being in the... Well, thanks for taking the time. There was some of my call, and keep up the drink work on the podcast.
That's pretty accurate. The dream.
Oh my
God!
I'm
gonna do Pipers. I want to do Pipers because it's okay.
Do it. Do Pipers.
And I will AP, long-time listener. Yeah, I don't want to screw it. Like you really care how many times I've been calling in. Just a quick information. Heads up, FYI. Hi, wind tunnel experiments far over, and they were completed successfully. I apologize for the problems last week. My question from last week. This is project of a deal on everybody's mind. What is the most important possible? If you would want for your project. All right, place, and gosh you 22 dash battery. Yeah. C-line transcription applications that we're all pull over. I'm typing a J, giving you plans and downlinks per week. Good night.
Oh my God! I love. I'll write the place, and gosh, you 22 dash battery. That was my favorite part.
Okay. We can't leave Sammy out of the mix. All right. See you. This is Sammy. I was just calling with the question. What your favorite pickup line? I was going to the Banderas. Landed and double. But it's going to do that. Makes it on. Have a good day.
I don't understand how Google now can be so good at translating voice into text, and Google Voice can be so bad.
But we thank you for it, and we want to
soft G.
Google Voice
week
never get any better at this, please.
Every week that we get phone calls, a segment of the show needs to be just reading those because God, that shit is so funny.
It is. It really is.
I like typing the J myself. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Typing a J.
Typing a J.
That's true. I'm typing the J. It's like, damn, son.
Yeah, what did you say about
I'm
the battery?
so shy right now.
What was the battery?
He said awesome battery.
No, it says I'll write the place, and gosh, you 22 dash battery.
22
gosh,
dash
you
battery.
22 dash battery.
I know. I'll pull over. I'm typing a J, giving you plans for and down links per week. All right.
Well, I'm typing a J.
I still like. I mean these phones desk be sold by carriers, or will we still be able to buy lunch usual? I still buy lunch usual.
I mean, whatever.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for the show. Hopefully, we'll see you all next week. Leave us your messages if you want to hear Google Transcription botch your message or get a question answered on the show. We would love to hear from you. Also, leave us reviews in your favorite podcatcher application, iTunes. What are the other ones that are out there? I'm an Apple guy, so I don't know.
iTunes is another one.
Isn't there a dog catcher one?
Yeah, but that just pulls them. I mean, there's not like a store, is there?
No.
What's
the? Can't do reviews. It's you're thinking of
Pocket Cast. That's the one I have on my Nexus. Yes, Pocket Casts. So leave reviews. It helps us. We're right now. If you type in Android in the iTunes store, we're the 15th on the list. We'd love to get up there a little bit higher. But most of those are actually duplicates of just different formats of the same show. So help us out. Leave a review. And even if it's bad, just start talking about us.
No, but if it's bad, don't.
Oh, you can.
No, you can't. I'll find you.
David will find you, and he'll buy you lunch usual.
And I'll type your J's.
I gotta type your J and 22 your battery.
And 22 your dash battery.
Dash 22.
I wish my dash battery was 22.
Yeah. All right, I'm out. I got.
Test your wind tunnel so hard.
Peace.
See ya.
testing your wind tunnel. What did he say? Your wind tunnel so hard. Thanks for being on the show, Pam.
You're welcome.
Thanks for putting up with me being a jackwagon tonight.
You're not a jackwagon.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Whatever you say. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.